Hey, good stuff, family. I am really excited to introduce you to a couple of new friends of mine coming up here. This is a story of entrepreneurship. It's a story of overcomers. It's a story of people who are following what has become a calling, not just a career. And those are my people. When you can do what you love and it has such purpose, and other people exponentially are benefiting from what these new friends are doing. We're talking about MaxStrength Fitness and now MaxStrength Wellness as well. Started in Westlake, grew to Willoughby, and it's been so successful now. They have 16 employees, I think, now in just like 15 years, 600 clients a week. So it's working, and it's tailored to middle age. I'm going to say that more confidently. It's tailored to middle age, like 50 plus. Yeah. Like there's a lot of changes that happen, and when you hear this personal testimony of my friend Jen, you're going to see why they're so incredibly popular and why they're now franchising this opportunity out. So I'm going to bring them in. One moment, please. Hi, Jeff Tomaszewski and Jen Puhalsky. We have all the skis covered.
Yes, we do.
Well, okay, so tell us, I think it was about 15 years ago, right, Jeff, when you had this idea to start MaxStrength Fitness?
Yeah, so we started in 2007 in Westlake, Ohio, and I always knew that I wanted to help as many people as possible improve the quality of their life. This story for me started when I was young. When I was 5, my mom passed away of ovarian cancer, and I saw the way that she suffered as she went through chemo and radiation, and I didn't want people to have to suffer like that. And I knew that strength was a huge component of that. So when I got into high school, I was into sports, and our athletic trainer always helped us athletes get back on the field. So that became my passion for sports medicine. Right. Then I graduated from college, went into the physical therapy practice because I thought that's what I wanted to do. But as soon as we started getting patients better, their insurance limitations ran out. And so, left to their own devices, they're not very compliant with their home programs. So that's when I then said, you know what, I'm going to take this to the general public and really improve the strength and quality of people's lives. And I developed this protocol, or found upon a protocol, and developed it with my background in strength conditioning and sports medicine. And here we are 15 years later, just helping one person at a time improve the quality of their life in only minutes a week.
One person at a time. And what happens is what you found is they spend their whole life grinding for everyone else, make some money, worry. And now it's a time to just exhale and say health in addition to wealth that they've been grinding for, right?
Yeah, most of our clients, like you mentioned earlier, they're usually 45 to 50 and above. They've spent their entire career building their wealth, taking care of their family, building their businesses or whatever it is. And then they kind of let their health put on the back burner, if you will, and they kind of let that suffer. So that's where we come in. And most of our clients, they don't want to go in traditional gym settings and people rah-rah cheerleading and banging weights around and, trainers yelling and screaming at them like boot camp. So we're very different from that perspective. We have a clinically controlled temperature facility, so you don't sweat when you train with us. We want to keep the body efficient. You're literally in and out in 20 minutes back to your busy day. We use equipment that has no friction on it, or low friction, I should say. So we lift the weights in about 10 seconds and we lower them in 10. We move slow because we want tension on the muscle the entire time. It robs the body of momentum, takes all the stress off the joints. So it's efficient, effective, but most importantly, it's safe. I mean, I've got clients, like I said, 50, 60, 70. I've got 80-year-olds. I've got 4 90-year-olds. Wow. It's people that really want to improve the quality of their life. They've spent all their life building that wealth. And now, they don't want to suffer from doctor's visits and medications and aches and pains. And that's where we come in and really help them in only minutes a week get back to the quality that they deserve.
And I get that, the joint pain and, as a runner, and I get it, like things change, right? And if you think, oh, you can't do it in 20 minutes, let me just, again, introduce my friend Jen Puhalsky, who did it in a big way, took control of her own fitness and lost, is it 200 pounds, Jen?
Yeah, 202 to be precise.
Well, yeah. And trust me, when you're trying to lose, every bit counts. I love that. But you lost a whole person. And will you take me back to, when that was the situation you were in? You were I love people who are real, raw, genuine, and vulnerable. And that was your story. Like you knew this had to happen.
Yeah, I had no choice. So I'd always been heavy my whole life. I've been overweight. And then I had some issues having children, so it just kind of snowballed. And after I had my first son, the first time I got on the scale, I know I had lost enough weight to have courage to get on the scale. So I know I was already down, but that first number was 326, and it kind of hit me. And then, it's not this great line. Like, I wish I had a story of how quickly it happened, but I lost 100, had another baby, lost 100, had another baby. And at that point, it had come clear to me that I was going to be raising them on my own. So I'd go to the playground to watch other parents play with their kids. And I was smoking 2 packs a day at that point.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, 2 packs.
So you were like textbook what not to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was when I knew that I had to live, and I had a doctor look at me and said, they're all yours, and they're all yours, and they're going to be in foster care if you don't turn your life around. So my love for them was profound enough to do whatever it took to make it happen. So had lost all my weight, and it was a long process, several years, but I've been able to keep it off now for about 11 years.
Wow. And this is what I love so much, because always, without exception, behind every good stuff story, like starting something that gives people their lives back, there are always good stuff stories underneath as well. And that's why I was so glad that you shared it. So Jeff is like, hey, Jeff, Tomaszewski with a Y says to Jen Puhalsky, no, with an I.
No,
Who's
other
the I?
way.
I with a Y.
The
The
Y.
skis. Hey, I think not only do our names sound cool together, I think we could partner up. And so MaxStrength Fitness incorporated MaxStrength Wellness. So tell me about that. Nutrition. It's not diet, Jen, that 4-letter word. When I say it, I'm hungry and want a snack, but it's nutrition that's working with these 2 programs that's working for people now. This is relatively new. This part of it.
Yeah, go ahead, right ahead.
So I would say, I've lived in diet culture. We did math one time for fun, and I've lost about 1,200 pounds in my life on it, just losing it and gaining it. And, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, right? And expecting different results. So my approach has always been, my background is in psychology. So when I approached it this time with failure not being an option, I couldn't just join a diet plan. Sustainable lifestyle changes that would last. And those are small and they're incremental. So using my background in cognitive behavioral psychology, I was able to implement, if you focus on the behavior, the weight will come off. So it's really, I coined the phrase fugicating people so that they can understand food. So there's no longer that confusion that happens, and meet them where they're at. It's not about what I expect for them to achieve, but what health and wellness looks like for them, and being able to support them in that process.
I love that. And I know it's easier to say meet them where they are, but that's what you said. It's a real deal. Like, we can't lose it for you. I love that you were honest. And too, you said you can't work out a bad diet either. You can't. You just can't. And I found personally, I used to be able to eat carbs and sugars a lot. My body is a lot less tolerant of that now. And I'm like, wait, hold up. The metabolism. So what do you do? That's where I am. So what do? You meet people where they are. And so what is can you just quickly give me like a different, example, a typical diet, don't you do this, this, and this, and this? Can you give me kind of an example? If I walked in today, like what would you want to know, and how would you kind of tailor the nutrition for the carb and sugar addicts?
That's such a loaded question.
It is. It really is. It was like 100 questions in one. Are you going to say you're going to need it's going to be tough love. You're going to need to lay off the donuts.
What I would say is life doesn't really seem fun if I don't get to have a donut every once in a while. They're an indulgence, not a way of life. But I think you really have to understand the process and what good carbs are and what they look like. And, just having spoken with you prior to this, I think it's really important to educate somebody in our age group in regards to what happens as we age. I think we just always say, my metabolism slowed down. Well, no, we lose muscle. So that's where Jeff comes into play. So gaining the muscle is going to boost your metabolism as you go through. Right. Understanding that adrenaline levels increase and we don't feel satiated, and which foods start to combat some of those cravings. And then I can honestly tell you, Dawn, I mean this sincerely, when you give your body what it needs, those cravings start to dissipate. So it's not like some magic trick. It's me giving you the knowledge and you taking it and running with it and using, I think, together, you know, that this program's so different is you can start to combat those metabolic changes that you see with age as well.
And I know it to be true. Once you cut out like the creamer, the sugary creamer and stuff, you don't really want it anymore. And I know it to be true. Okay. So not only have you, were those numbers correct, Jeff, when I said 16 employees, 600 clients a week?
Right. Yeah.
So it's been so successful that now what are you doing? You're actually franchising this out, aren't you?
Yeah. So we're franchising. That's always been my dream, is that, you know, I'm one guy, Jen's one gal. So we're trying to help as many people as we can, just improve the quality of their life as they age and reverse that aging process, if you will. So yeah, we have a franchise opportunity. We'll go anywhere in the United States. Anybody wants to open up a franchise. So if anybody's interested, they can go to MaxStrengthFitnessFranchise.com and you can take a look there.
Would you look at that? Look what's scrolling at the bottom. I was just a couple seconds ahead of you. Huh? How about that? How about
Perfect.
that?
Love it.
And you know what, Jen, before I forget, let me just point out, like, you have a fiance now. You're empowering, uplifting, encouraging, and empowering who knows how many people.
I hope so.
I mean, just I admire you. I admire you so much. And that's the thing, the people who can lead by example. These are the Good Stuff family. All these things I'm saying, these are our catchphrases that I say all the time, but it's real. And when we get to introduce you to people who are doing exactly that, you know, to counter kind of like all the headlines, everyone's obese, we're all awful, you know, no, here's the deal. People are turning the tide. And that's why I'm so grateful for you guys. And speaking of which, could we do our camera 3, please turn to Joan? Yeah. Camera 3, turn to Joan Morgan.
Over here to Joan.
Oh, look at that. Hi, Joan.
Hi, Dawn.
So I asked you when we met, we are never supposed to ask a woman her age. But I say, when you are killing it and defying typical age standards or parameters, I say you not only say it, you like shout it from the mountaintops. Would you like, Joan, to tell us how many years young you are?
Yes, I am 67 years young.
Bring it. And it didn't come by accident. I think it's been almost 10 years you've been working with Jeff. Is that right?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So when you sit back and you hear us talking about all of this, is one thing to hear from the dude who runs it. But for you, what has it been for 10 years in the fitness and now introducing the nutrition with Jen as well?
Right. You know, I hooked up with Jeff's group when I came back. I had lived in Erie for a year and was out there, and, you know, my whole life got all turned upside down and turned upside down. I wasn't comfortable, flexible in my body. I joined with Jeff's group then, and and their just style of workout for me just really, you know, improved my strength and my whole overall body and my mentality, and just brought me back to the vigor and vim that I wanted to have that I was missing. So I really like this style of training. It's efficient and effective, and these guys are great.
And you know, the proof is in what we're looking at and what we're hearing. You, like, your energy level went up, and now what about the nutrition? Is that actually, are you I'm putting your name in here so we can use this. Are you actually finding, Joan, that the nutrition is that component that you can't out exercise a diet? Is that true for you at 69?
Yeah, 67.
Well, I'm going to tell you why I said 69, because I don't have my cheaters on, which we were just talking about things that happen when you need more. Right. Sorry. Yes. You look great for 67, better for 69. All right. So are you finding that, though, seriously, in your own personal approach to this, that nutrition is so key as well as the program that you're doing?
Absolutely. You know, I broke my heel last February, and I was still coming in here, you know, Jeff and the group altered my workouts for me. But then because I couldn't be active too much other than here, you sit around, you feel sorry for yourself. So I had piled on a little extra weight. But I was working out with Jen one day and she started telling me her story and told me she was going to be doing this wellness coaching. So I asked her, could I be one of her first clients? And she signed me up. And I've been with her since March, I think.
Yeah.
March. And yeah, I've lost 15, 16 pounds now and feel better than I have in a really long time. And then you combine it with the strength training here and it's just, it's fabulous. You can't say enough good things about it.
Yeah.
You know,
I appreciate you.
the whole thing.
I thought I changed it to Joan up there, but I appreciate you sharing that because again, this is the thing. People are going to go look, they're going to be looking up these websites. But the truth is when you see that how Jen has inspired you and we say together we can, together we will. That's exactly what it is. Like her own overcomer story inspires you. Who knows who's listening now to your story and is inspired. So and with that, could camera 3 please go back to camera 2 shot, please? Could we get the 2-shot production crew? Oh, you are so good. That was smooth. That was very smooth. I know we are so on.
I put them on too. I did.
The irony is I want to do this, but my shoulder is stiff nowadays. So I'm like, you probably didn't notice it, but we're keeping it real,
Yeah.
those anti-inflammatory, like the diet, it's going to help. Anyway, so to wrap this up, because we try to keep it to about 20 minutes, I'm going to give a huge shout out to John Webb, who was the one who referred us to you in the first place. And when he says, this is a quote, he was one of our very first of these that we did, the Good Stuff family sponsored stories. Okay. He said, you got to call Jeff and Jen. They are fantastic. Here's the quote he said about Jen. She's one of a kind, a great, true, kind soul. I don't care what body you're in or what shape, that is the good stuff. And that didn't change. You were always that, right? So I just thought I would offer that to anyone listening as well. Like, yes, I could lose some weight. Hey, guess what? The really good stuff is what doesn't change. And so to be able to have you on because he referred you. And then my friend Kelly Nelson, it's like Kevin Bacon. It's like pulling a string with her. She sees that, the promotion that we did this morning saying that we were doing this today. She goes, he is the greatest guy. I should have such a really good stuff. Such a great guy. And then she tells me, I need a moment almost because here I am thinking I know you guys. And the truth is we don't really ever know everybody until we more than scratch the surface of their good stuff story. So Jeff, your beautiful wife, she was an attorney, Jody Littman Tomaszewski. It's been just a little over a year when what happened, what we say is really God, really, those moments where you're just like, really God, walk me through that. And then we're going to tell everyone the good, the credible good that you're doing in her name now. Walk me through what happened with Jody.
Yeah. So June of last year, 2021, we were going on. So it was June of 2021, and we were going on a family vacation. And so we were staying at the airport here in Cleveland because we had an early morning flight. And so we went to bed about 11 o'clock and about midnight. And then at 1 a.m., she woke up gasping for air and had a and my wife was fit. She was a product of the product here at MaxStrength and had no family history. And that left me then with my 3, teenage daughters to lead them and to lead a team and to go through that. And when we were going through the funeral arrangements, one of the funeral directors asked me, is there any way you wanted to honor your wife? Something you think? I was like, I can't even think at this time. And she's like, well, what about a scholarship? I was like, that's brilliant. So both Jody and I went to undergraduate and graduate school at Case Western Reserve University here in Cleveland, and high-powered attorney. Jody was the first female law partner at Dworkin or Bernstein, in a field where it's all male dominated and older men. She brought her female energy and her impact and just really create a legacy and blaze the trail for the female partners there to become, females at that firm to become partners. And so we set up what's called now the JLT Fund, so the Jody Littman Tomaszewski Fund. It's an endowment fund at the Case School of Law where Jody went to law school. And it's to help females who might be struggling financially to afford law school, because let's face it, it ain't cheap, right? And so we set up this scholarship fund where we committed to raising over $300,000. That $300,000 will see then a $15,000 scholarship to a second or third year law student into perpetuity. So last year we raised $100,000. We just in casino $1,000 for that event. We have another event coming up on November 5th at Nuevo Mexican Tequila and Bar down on East 9th. We're going to be having dinner, dancing, some raffles. We're going to hope to raise some more funds. So everybody can check out the fund. It's the jltfund.org. So it's the jltfund.org. Any support would be greatly appreciated. If you just want to have come have a great night, help us to continue to build Jody's legacy and impact so that everybody can see what an impactful person she was, but continue that for my daughters as well.
I'm telling you, we are right on the same page today, because I was thinking this is legacy. And then you said legacy, because if we get 11 years, like our friend Colin Nemeth, who was a cancer warrior, or if we get 100 years, what have we done with it? And she was so inspirational, and she led by example. And so when you feel like you know this person and she lives on through these women who are going on to be dynamos like her, that is the best of the good stuff. So I'm so thankful that you took the time to do this today. A couple things may have shorted out audio wise. It was like what you called a widow maker, right? It was like something, there was zero warning. Right?
The first symptom is sudden cardiac arrest, and it's death. So there's nothing I could have done, nothing anybody could have done. And unfortunately it was God had other plans. He must need a kick-ass attorney. So.
And an angel for the other kick-ass attorneys coming along.
Right. For sure.
Right. And that's it. We don't know. And it sounds like Debbie Downer. Oh, we don't. Today's a gift. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. Guess what? Today is a gift and tomorrow's not guaranteed. And y'all are killing it. You're killing it in making the best of not only yourselves, but extending that opportunity to others. And this is why I love you so much. And I hope, you're off and running. It's these franchises. It's going to be really good. And it's all because you both overcame and were able to see the good in yourselves and then be the good for others. So thank you. And God bless you.
Thank you.
Okay. Have a great day.
Thanks. You too. Take care.
Bye, guys.